Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Render token. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Also in the description below, you'll find a link to the Discord. Why not come check it out? It's free to join. Once in the general chat area, just add mention member staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff. So basically, there isn't a lot of information here on Render. There is a little bit more if we switch over here and I just jump onto this chart quickly. So this is on Gate.io, but I prefer to chart on Binance. So we can see that we've come up into this move, and for the most part, there isn't a lot to go off of here. You know, we've had this move to the downside, so it is possible that this could complete a correction and we could look to break up from here. However, we need to be aware that we could also just come back up here as a corrective structure and look to continue to the downside. So this is still a very valid possibility at this point. It is a good sign that we've bounced off this area, but sometimes what can happen is we'll find support temporarily in this area, we'll move away, and then actually we'll look to break it. So like I said, we don't have a lot of structure here to work off of. So this is just something that we're going to have to take it level by level. So within this, basically, what we'd be looking for is two ways we can look at this. Like I said, we can look at this as either a bullish option where we actually formed a low here and we're actually going to start to progress to the upside from here, and we're going to look to push through these high points. Or alternatively, we could actually look to move to the downside here. So I'm going to go over the bearish option first, and then we'll talk about the bullish thing, the bullish option. So there's a few things I want to say. So I've drawn this channel here off of the bodies. We've only got two touch points. Well, we've got a few touch points at the top here. We've only got one touch point at the bottom though. So for the most part, this could actually still react on this zone. So we've got this little bit of consolidation support area that we had here, which we lost. We haven't actually been back up and retested this yet. So often when we retest these for the first time, we're going to get a reaction away. So this is something to bear in mind. Also, there are a few things within the structure that are important. So this red box area here is a Fibonacci retracement zone, and basically this area of this 2197 to this 2447 is the golden pocket within that. That's 0.618 to that 0.65 area. So if we do move up, this could be a zone we actually look to get rejection from. We can see this also lines up quite nicely with this channel top and within this red box area of this previous support area that we held. So it is possible we could actually look for a rejection from this point and then potentially look to move away. What we'd want to see for a more bullish option with or more bullish sign would be actually to break above this and then start to consolidate here and then actually look to break away from that point. Um, Most of the times when we retest these important support zones, we are going to get a reaction away. It depends on how deep that is and sort of how violent that is as to where we think we will go from there. So, okay, now we're going to get into the count. And basically, we can see that, so this is looking at this move slightly different. And what we'd be looking for within this is that looking at this as an ABC to the upside, this is a B wave to the downside, and then looking for this potentially to be a C wave to the upside. So that if this is a corrective move like this and we fail to reach some of the targets we're going to talk about in the next bit, effectively this could actually just look to move away. It could also look to retrace into the channel and become a bigger corrective move. And what I mean by that is potentially we could see this play out like this, where we come up into this zone, we actually reject, come back down, find support on this channel, and then form some more corrective structure to the upside here. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't form upward structure after this point, but I would be expecting to see a reaction from there. And then from there we can sort of go and we can sort of talk about where we can go once we start to see this develop. So I'm going to come down here into the smaller time frames now. Effectively, what I'm looking for within this structure here. So we've got to be a little bit careful with these. Sometimes the counts can be slightly out when you're trying to do this in real time while you're getting a pump and an extension. But the way I'm looking at it currently is effectively that we've got this as a 1, 2, all of this is a 3 into this point here, 4 and a 5. So this is still looking for an additional fourth and a fifth in this count. So what we'd be looking for ideally is a deeper move down towards this $1.18, yeah, $1.18 area. This would then facilitate this fourth wave here, but we don't, like I said, we have to be careful because sometimes these internal legs are hard to count, and we could be slightly out with where the extension is. So we just need to wait for that confirmation and see what happens from there. So this is what I am currently looking at. I'm looking at this move as potentially being a fourth wave, and then looking at this as a potential diagonal here. So we can look at this in two ways. So we can either argue that this is a three-wave move here, and that could be completed. It can't, as a diagonal, it can't cross this $2.02. If it crosses above that, then effectively what this would do is it would invalidate this as a diagonal, and we'd have to change how we look at the structure. I would still be looking for this fourth wave to play out, but if we do continue up past this $2.22, either we have completed, and so what I mean is either this fifth wave could be here and we actually look to complete, or we could still see an additional fourth and fifth. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But what these will generally do is they'll consolidate in areas of the previous fourth wave moves. So if you get a strong third like wave like we have, sometimes these might not go as deep, so we could potentially come back towards the top end of this box. However, I do think that it would probably more likely come back down into these lower ranges here of this $1.18 if we do start to break down. So the other way we can look at this diagonal is that potentially we look at this as a, and then we're going to come back for a B wave. So if we do actually drop down deeper, what we'd be looking for effectively within this structure would be a move down towards this zone here. Let me get this right on the bottom there. A move down back towards this $1.80, all the way down to sort of this 171. So we can see we've actually broken above this channel at the moment. So this normally happens when you get this fifth wave, it normally breaks this trend line. So it'll be interesting to see whether we actually start to reject from here or whether we actually continue up. The 1-to-1 area of this move, if I come onto here, so the 1-to-1 would actually be up here at this $2.42. So that would actually invalidate this move. But if this had to complete earlier at the 0.85, for instance, it would still maintain this yellow line that we can't cross, which would then make me look for this deeper retracement here. So it's just something we're going to have to keep an eye on. If we do continue to move up, like I said, I do think that we're going to potentially get a reaction within this $2 range, would also be quite an important psychological level, which also ties in quite nicely with the if I jump back out into bottom area of this box. So that's something we could actually see. We could come back into this box here, touch it, and then move away. So that's what we want to have a look at. That would still maintain this $2.02 area as well. Um, but yeah, basically from there we'd be looking for a deeper retracement. If we do get a retracement into this zone, it could mean an additional push to the upside, which would be this $2.68 to this $2.21. If we fail to hold this $1.01, either we've completed into this high, or alternatively, we are following potentially one of the other options. So we're gonna talk about those now. If we do start to break down here, we'd have to say that we're completed into here, and then we would want to be checking the deeper. Well, I'd be anticipating a deeper retracement when we do complete this. Either we're gonna move up and hit some targets, which can make us look at this in the bullish way, or alternatively, we'd be looking for a deeper retracement. Potentially, I'm gonna put it onto that $2 mark. Um, so 50% would be down here to this 89.99, and then deeper down would be the sort of the 618, which would be the 74-cent area. So we're just going to have to see how this plays out. So the bullish way of looking at this, I'm going to just come out here back onto the daily. So looking at this structure slightly different, we can argue that we have some bullish structure where this is a 1-2, 1-2, and actually what we are is within this yellow third wave. So I don't think that this yellow third wave will end as low as it is here. If this is the case, I'd be expecting it to extend up further than it is. So basically what we'd be looking for here is if we want to confirm this move, we'd want to actually move past this $2.56 range. If we move past that 256, then it would effectively confirm the possibility of this as a diagonal, because that would be we would have reached the typical third wave length within the structure. So like I said, I'm still anticipating, even with this one, that we could get this additional fourth wave pullback and then a push to the upside. So I would be looking at this, but if we did pull back down towards this zone here, I'm going to just come back down into smaller time frames here. So if we did pull back down here, these are sort of the areas we could find support. This $1.61 would be the highest range of this because, like I said, we've got a strong third wave here. We might not get all the way down to this 382 or this 50%, but it is still possible. But the 161 would be the higher end, then 143 would be a next sort of area. This $1.18 does line up with this previous fourth, so it would be neater for it to come back here, but it might not do that. So we'll have to see. We might revisit this if this does extend out. So basically, like I said, we want to cross this $2.56. If we do cross that, then effectively we can be looking for a bigger move. And what we'd be looking for then is something more like this, where we're going to have this move. Okay, this I've moved this over to the side here just to keep it neat. But effectively, what we'd be looking for is after that, potentially coming back down, maybe testing this halfway line here, this 50% of the channel line, or maybe a deeper move to test this high point. We can't actually cross that high point. So yeah, so if we do get this, if we do cross this 1618, we can't cross this area of this high point here at this $1.74. If we cross that, then it would invalidate this additional fifth wave. But for as long as we stay above that, we could see a more sideways wave 4 here, where we actually look to move just sideways into this zone, and then we actually push up one more time for a fifth wave. If we do that, then effectively what we'd be looking for is the potential to move up. It depends how deep we go here. So this is just a support zone. We can't really give many targets off of this. I mean, roughly we could argue $4 to the $3.51 area. If I jump back out here onto the daily. So this is if it played out exactly like I've got plotted here, potentially up to $6.93 to $4.61. So this is something that can play out, but we need to wait for the confirmations because this could just turn around here, cross this wave one high, and then it invalidates this whole structure. So that is just what we have to be careful of. Yeah, so if we do actually extend out here, I would be very interested to see how we react on this channel top, which, like I said, at the moment is sitting at this $2.45. But this $2 zone is going to be very, very important. I mean, it's possible that we're going to just get a rejection off of it and look to break down. We haven't quite got to it, but it could also front run, and then actually we don't touch into it. We just come close, and then the buying pressure, sorry, the selling pressure comes in. So we'll have to see. If we do continue to extend out here, basically what we'd be looking for is some interesting zones here, some potential areas we might look to complete this wave 3 if it does continue to extend out. Would potentially be this 3618, which would be this 279.5. That's only if it does continue to push through here. So that area would be an interesting zone, as well as this $4.44 if we continue to push. There's nothing indicating it within the structure. Like I said, I am anticipating this pullback and a push up after that. And then whether this fifth wave can manage to cross these zones will sort of indicate whether we're going to get these extensions. But yeah, once we complete this yellow third wave, so if we get this 5-wave move up here, we wouldn't be able to come back down, like I said, below this area here of this $1.174. That would invalidate any bullish potential here. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. We're always happy to hear from you. And in the description below, you'll also find a link to the Discord. Come and have a chat with us. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Also, in the description, you'll find affiliate links to both Prime XBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use regularly when we do our trading. They really are great. Why not give them a check? Why not check them out? The links are in the description. You know, there is deposit bonuses, and using the affiliate links does help support the channel. So if you want to do that, that would be great. Okay, everyone, we're going to leave it there. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.